those who just you know that there's something different in thing or something missing from your life, you may not awaken in a spiritual way that we all did. You may awaken in a whole other way.
Where our consciousness is out here. And once we get a grasp on what that means, we'll find out the different things that we can do.
And the celestial helper said, we're in the new now, right now. So start from this moment, go forward.
We are electric beings. We get this information. It is coming into our bodies. It is changing things within us. We may not be aware of it, but it's happening. And other beings have technology, but our technology kind of rests in our DNA. It rests in our being. I mean, the things that we can do just by being a human.
I'm Vicki, and I'm Dawna, and it's your time.
Hi, everyone. My name is Vicki, and over here is my lovely cohort, Dawna.
Hi.
And we have lots of stuff to talk about today.
It's your time we have lots of things. It's your time to awaken, I think. A lot of people, a lot more people.
Yeah, to embrace an awakening that's going on right this very moment.
It is. The light workers awakened earlier, and actually there may be more light workers.
Well, I was going to say it's an ongoing process.
It is. It is an ongoing process, but for those who just you know that there's something different in something missing from your life, you may not awaken in a spiritual way the way that we all did. You may awaken in a whole other way. So we're going to talk about that, awakening. If you're new to our channel, the reason we are here is to share our experiences of awakening and growing. And we grew spiritually. You may not grow spiritually. It may be something totally different. And we interview many of the same people with the same mind and heart, those who are aware that things are changing and shifting, and they want to help you. We do this for the fun of it and to help you, and because we love it, and it costs you nothing to subscribe. So please do subscribe. There's a subscribe button down here. It says, it's your time. Yeah, it says, it's your time. And just click on that and you can subscribe. So what's new with you? Anything happened this week?
Well, you told me about it, and I went into the Robert Edward Grant video, and there was a link to download his polymath calculator.
I don't like the name.
I know, but it's fine. That's who he is.
It's a life calculator, if you ask me.
Yeah. And so I downloaded it and I put in all of my stuff, and I got some stuff, and it's like, it pretty much reinforces who I thought I was, but for the most part, I am a mystic hermit.
Oh, cool.
Which means I like to be by myself, and it's going through the mystical way to kind of get there. It kind of explains it more, but it goes into all these different, like it goes into the gene keys, it goes into, I'm a 55. Freedom.
Yeah, that's total freedom. Wow. And
it goes into numerology, your life path. It goes into the Tolkien,
human design, everything.
Yeah, human design. And also, and I had only seen this one other place, it also goes into the Mayan Tolkien something or other. And I remember it's like a galactic something or other. And we had put our stuff in to see what it was. And I came out as a yellow magnetic seed.
Oh,
I grow over time. Sun is solar. The yellow is the solar, and it's magnetic. So I when I grow and open, I've magnetized people to me. So it was kind of cool. Michael was not, he was pretty much just like a yellow sun. He just, shines. I grow slowly. Yes, and stuff like
Like
that. So
a seed opens to the sun.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And
Yeah.
let's see, and it just says a whole lot of different stuff about pulling in these different modalities and really showing you who you are, and in a written form without you having to guess. So I thought that was pretty cool.
And it looked to me like there were different categories you could click on, like your galactic family, or which is maybe what you clicked on. I can't remember them
Well,
all.
I only so far I've only really gotten into the my profile. It kind of looks like this. I don't know if you can see it.
Vaguely. My
Yeah.
profile. Okay, so
Okay, so
when you
there's my profile, and that's where you put in all of your stuff. And
Mhm,
it goes into mainly on that page, I think it's more astrology.
mhm.
And then when you go into profile personality, that's when you get all these different blendings coming in.
Okay.
And so I really enjoyed it. It was fun for me. And I still read it, and
Yeah,
it also gives you a daily, a weekly, and a monthly astrology forecast
but that's what,
geared just towards you. And I
yes.
thought that was really interesting. So I don't know if he's going to charge for this eventually, but right now it's free.
Right now it's free on Orion. You have to go to Orion and I'll put
Right,
the link in here
right.
and set it
And
up. And you
and
only have to put your name and date of birth and the time of your birth. And he says, I never use any of this information for anything. I'll never sell it to anyone. But, the government, obviously, if you have a social security number, the government already knows your date of birth. They may not know the time of your birth, but they know
yeah,
the rest. So,
I I think that the days of hiding your information are long gone.
yeah. Everybody's information is out there. So,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Anyway,
But
but
but that was fun for me.
well,
And
and it's not just fun. And what hit me was Rick Levine was on Amrit last week, and then also he was in the Q&A on Sunday,
mhm,
and that was my question to him before this thing came out. When did it come out? Thursday, Friday, Friday.
mhm,
So couple days ago, what was that, the 19th, and June 19th. Anyway, so the weekend before that, I was when in Amrit Circle, and I asked Rick Levine, you said someday you feel that there will be some kind of astrology app that is like GPS, and it will be that easy to see what would be
mhm.
a good time for me to do this, that, or the other. And he went into a big long thing about he is working on something, and I looked it up before I asked the question, because there's all kinds of astrology and numerology apps and all of those things, but they go in depth into just that. And he said, no, you're going to need something that a little more comprehensive that includes, it's got to include, he didn't say human designing gene keys and that sort of thing, but he said it includes everything, and would have it would be such a huge database. I'm not really sure how we're
Yeah.
going to do it, but I'm working on it. And then out comes
Out comes Robert
Robert
Edward
Edward
Grant, because
Grant
that's
with
what he
this
does.
thing. Yeah.
But I will say it was I was watching, one of the shows that he was doing on it, and I got the calculator through just going into the description without having to go onto a website. I just went into the link in the description of the video that I was watching. Because if you go into the description, more, and his link was there just to
Yeah.
get it. And
Well,
it
that,
allows
yeah.
you to save it. And so,
Yes. Well, it takes you to a website. That's
well,
my
yeah,
website.
yeah,
Yeah.
but then you can save your information.
Yeah. So you don't, every time you go back, it's
Hmm.
there.
Hmm.
And
Onto your
then,
phone.
yeah, well, or I have mine on my computer, but
Yeah.
yeah, you could do either. So, and
Well,
everyone is talking about the new movie, Disclosure, and we're going to be
which I
going over.
cannot talk about with you because you haven't seen it.
I
I
haven't
haven't
seen
seen
it.
it either, but I've heard stuff about it.
Well, I was watching Dr. Stephen Greer and on
Emilio.
Emilio
Mhm.
Ortiz with oh, I love her, but I can never think of her.
Meredith, Regina Meredith.
Regina Meredith. They were talking about it, and they got to a point I could follow along, but it got to a point where Emilio says, "Well, now we're getting to the spoilers." I was like, "Click! I'm not going to watch that until
And
after."
there weren't really spoilers necessarily.
Well, he said something about at the end, blah blah, and I didn't want to hear that. So
Yeah, at the end, but I had already heard that part, so it's fine.
I haven't. Or if I did, it just went whew, right over. But I'm not going until July 3rd, so 2 weeks. So
So let's talk about the different types of awakening.
oh yes. So yeah, I hadn't thought that there were going to be different types, and it really hit me today. I was watching Lee Harris on Ziva. She's a beautiful lady. And Lee Harris says, "You have a very galactic face." And I thought that was so funny because the first time I saw her, I was like, "Oh, she's an alien." And she sure looks like one. But she really, it's just somebody new that she came up on I guess she had Lee Harris on, and then she had somebody else on that I like. So it was all the people. So I was just watching her for days. But anyway, so and before that was Lady of the Forest.
444. Cindy.
444, Cindy, yes. Not Cindy Lou Who, but Cindy. And she's Canadian. I think she's in Northern Ontario. I'm not sure. Actually, it sounds, yeah, her
Yes.
accent sounds like.
I love Lady of the Forest 444.
Me too.
I had a reading with her.
You did?
Yes. When she was still doing her
I was going to
pendulum
say
reading.
she's not doing them because I would have done
No.
it.
It was a while ago.
I can't get her on the podcast. I've tried, guys. But anyway, so if you're watching, please let us know. We'd like to have you on our podcast, Cindy. And she was talking about the different types of awakening that the angels told, she channeled through the angels that the next big wave, excuse me, of people that are awakening may not, and probably most of them will not wake up spiritually. It's going to be a different way. And that got my mind thinking, and it got my heart swelling because I thought, this is beautiful. I mean, it's a whole other world. It's going to be a whole other thing. So, and maybe people may not want to watch us because we're talking about being light workers only. So we're thinking we got to find other ways to expand this so that it's not just for light workers. This is for everybody, anyone who is awakening and sees a shift and a change.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to be of our same mind.
Right. It doesn't have to be. Yeah. There could be right now. You were the one who brought this up, Vicki. Maybe you want to expound on this a bit, but with the movie,
I will.
With the movie Disclosure.
Disclosure is happening everywhere. And if you think you're seeing an alien, you might be. Because it is coming out, and more people are believing it. And it's a very exciting time.
I think so.
Yes.
Well,
and I have friends who could care less about aliens and stuff. And I don't know if it's because they've just decided that they're not real, or it's just not in their wheelhouse. And it very well might not be in their wheelhouse. I happen to love aliens and UFO and stuff like that.
Me too. My whole life.
We've been, my husband and I have been into that for years. And that's how we first got into. Actually, Ancient Aliens was the very first show that actually started getting me into my spirituality. Because once you go in deep enough to the alien thing, you realize it's all consciousness. It is just all consciousness. And I went through this big epiphany, years ago about how consciousness is so cool, because everyone has it and everyone doesn't understand what it means and what you can do with it. And I'm still learning what I can do with my consciousness. Like, I haven't astral traveled in a conscious awareness. I'm sure we all do when we're asleep or something, but I don't do it consciously. And maybe with these energies, it will be more of a thing that we are all going to, be able to astral travel consciously. But there's just so many things that can open up. Like, I think with people realizing that UFOs and how the government's hidden everything for, 50 years, and 80 years, 70, whatever. And there, once things start getting out, what's been hidden, we can change this earth so quickly with
Yes.
the stuff that has been hidden from us. And I don't know if anyone did you ever watch that The Lost Century by Stephen Greer?
Yes, I did. Long time
You
ago,
know,
but I watched it twice because I watched it when it first came out. I paid for it. And now
I
I
paid
watched
for
it
it,
for
you
free.
know.
I
Yeah.
think this time watched it for free, I think. Well, maybe because I had already paid for it when I put it on again. I think Regina Meredith said, "Have you haven't watched that? You should." And I was like, "Well, maybe I haven't." And I put it on and it came on. I was like, "This looks familiar." But you can
Yeah.
always learn something more,
Right.
every
Be-
time yeah.
because there have been things that have been hidden that could help us, such as the energy, such as having, clean water, such as maybe terraforming some actually, places that into fertile places.
Right.
Things like that do exist.
Oh, definitely. All the things, anything that you have ever dreamed of came probably from what people call the aliens. And if you have watched Ancient Aliens and you're watching any of this disclosure, you're seeing what you're going to see the split. You're going to see the government or your church or whatever says this, but this is really the truth over here. And it's going to hurt a lot of people. People may be really lost. Some people may be really lost from it.
Well, a lot of people have been hurt.
Well,
And
that's the other thing.
and
Like,
that is also the thing that I had heard this morning. They were talking about, amnesty. They're going to have amnesty, or some of this stuff won't get out because
well,
people have done bad things.
yeah. Well, but a lot of them did it because they were told to.
Yes, and
But
that's what they would need amnesty from.
well, I have to think about that one because I mean,
Okay.
look at the Hitler's regime, and they were all tried after the fact, and well,
Well, I'm not talking about the people at the top.
no, I'm talking about the people that did stuff, the people
Right.
that hid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and well, other many. Okay, so I started this way back, probably the first time that I've always felt that they were there, okay? And
Mm-hmm.
of course I was talking to them and they were talking to me and I didn't know that they were that. And anyway, that aside, when I was really young, I always thought, there's got to be somebody out there in those beautiful stars because, my dad said, I said to my dad, what is it, what does our Earth look like to those stars out there? And he said, well, we're in a galaxy, and he explained the whole thing. And I hadn't learned it in science. This was long before you learn all that stuff in science. I was teeny weeny. But I remember it, and he talked, the Milky Way. I never got that till I was older. But that's a candy bar. What are you talking but anyway, but he said, so think about what it would be like if you're sitting on that star and you're looking back here, you're going to see, the Milky Way and these little dots in it. You're just going to see a bunch of stars. And so I was like, well, who's out there? And he said, well, there's whoever you think. There's, you'll never be able to go and see, but there has, and I guess he probably gave his idea of what it was. My mom said, "Oh, I'm sure there are. There has, everybody in my family was very open-minded, that was always open to me." But the first time that I went, this is not funny. This is real. Was I saw Mike Farrell did a show, and it was like in 1982 or something that they put on at like 3 in the morning is when I was a night owl, and it was talking about these things, but it was on cable, I guess. But it was Mike Farrell. This is the guy from MASH that I've been watching. He was a
Mm.
doctor and he's an actor, I mean, he's a good person, let's say. I just felt like he was speaking the truth, and he talked about, it was probably things from Blue Book, Project Blue Book with, the couple that were out, and
Mhm.
that's that sort of thing. But that was the first time I went, oh, so this is real. People really, because when you hear the stories, you hear, oh, like, and you remember the movies of, like Independence Day now is the one that everybody talks about. We have been fed this putrid garbage about it for years,
Mhm.
and and we have people have been killed because of it,
Mhm.
because they're speaking out. Now, I am very happy that Dr. Stephen Greer has not been, but I'm very surprised that he's still here with all that he's done. So my conspiracy theorist mind says, well, maybe he was chosen by the government to be the one to, so it just keeps going round and round. So all you can do is go by what you feel in your heart, what you think,
Mhm.
and the facts may not ever be there enough to make everyone believe it. But if you watch any of these shows, the Ancient Aliens, you look at what's his face with the Emerald Tablets, any of these things. Oh, there's so many guys that I watch, I can't think. But if you watch any of that and you believe even a little teeny bit of it, then it's real for you and it will open up much more.
Mhm.
And then for me, what I feel once we get past the UFO business and which it's going to take many years for a lot of people, but there are going to be some people that awaken now because of it. And
Mhm.
once they get past that bump, they're going to start looking at the rest of society and the rest of the world and how did we get here and what can we do to change this? And that's where I start looking at people like Michael Tellinger and with his Ubuntu idea, one onesociety.org. I'll put the link in. I forget what it is now. Or, Charles Eisenstein and his ideas of the future. That's what and, our sweet David, who's gone, who had ideas for the future, David Wilcox, people like that have ideas for, and like you said, the technology is it's going to be exponential once people say, okay, it's real. These guys there are equals though. That's the thing that people don't get. They're not, yeah, sure, there are negative forces and all that crap, but if you are in a positive state of mind and in love and light, your heart is open, you don't have to worry about them. You're at a different frequency. They don't want you. It would be too hard to work at trying to get you to change your mind. I mean, they're not going to work at like Job, trying to get you to.
Well, and I will say they're just like us. You know, there's good ones, there's bad ones. They have good days, they have bad days, I'm sure. I'm guessing. But
Yeah,
it's like, they're going to be a mix, just like we're all a mix.
diversity. There you
Hmm.
go. So this opens the door for light workers to maybe try and, gear your messages towards diversity, and that I think is what's going to help people accept
Hmm.
things if they're more understanding of diversity and their life is more open to
They
diversity.
they they have to realize there are other life forms other than humans.
That's right.
And there are humans, I mean, maybe not human, but there are other human like entities and beings from other places. And
Oh,
they look just
definitely.
like us because we're like a template.
Yes.
What makes us different is our DNA.
Yes. And so the celestial helpers and those who want to connect with me anyway, they have said that, and the angels the same. Actually, angels are more concrete of what they can do and can't, what they can or can't not do. Humans are going to be more crystalline, and the more that these things open up for everyone, and the more that you accept diversity. That was the other thing about diversity. It's not that you have to accept diversity, it's just going to happen because people are going to say, oh, we're humans and they're something else. And so it's going to become a unity of humans, and those who don't believe in it will not continue with it. That's a whole other thing. We'll get into another time if you want to, but who's going to be left is going to be those who are into the love and light. And then you're going to look at the others and see that there is a wide diversity. And the last count I had, Matthias said there were something like 800 different types of aliens or something. It was a huge amount. And it won't end. It's never
Right.
ending.
No, because it's an infinite universes.
That's right. Exactly. That's very nice. I like that. So yeah. So and when we look at our ancestry as humans, you can look at your ancestry back to maybe 17, 1600, 1500. Before that, you can't go all the way back to when history started writing, or I mean, you can't even
Right.
go back to the Library of Alexandria was burned up, and there have been so many others that were pilfered, pillaged, and that sort of thing. So you can only go
And
so far.
pilfered.
And pilfered, yeah,
And
that's right.
pilfered.
That's true. So you can only go so far with that, but you just look at I'm a human being. I'm a human being. And think of what that word means. I am being a human. I like that. Instead of doing stuff, which God knows I do all day long, but you have to be also. Anyway, but the only other thing I wanted to say about that, the idea of diversity, and it's not they all want to connect with us because we can manifest in a different way than any other beings anywhere. As far as I know, there may be 2 other planets that were seeded with us, but they're not the same as what's on Earth now.
And people have, people and other beings have technology, but our technology kind of rests in our DNA. It rests in our being. I mean, the things that we can do just by being a human, I have no idea what is in there, but like the telepathy tapes and I was watching something about there are schools where you take younger children and you teach them a different way, like with blindfolds on, and they can start reading
Yes,
with the blindfolds on.
they can
You
see
know,
without
they can
seeing.
see because it's not really in here, it's out here.
Mhm.
Where our consciousness is out here. And once we get a grasp on what that means, we'll find out the different things that we can do.
Yeah, that's right. And even those other beings don't know really they know some of it because they do some of it. But when you put it, like you said, when it's our DNA doing it, and when we are here on this earth, the earth is going to make things different too, because the light beings or aliens or whatever, their planets are different. Their minerals in the planets are different. So, everything's going to be different. The biggest thing is the fact that we're going to know that we're more than just this. But that's getting into the spirituality of it, I guess. So
Well, but you don't have to. You don't have to realize that you're a piece of the divine light. You don't have to realize that. You really just have to think about DNA and multidimensionally what that means, because of the 78% junk that's in our DNA. Our DNA is pretty complicated. What makes anybody really think that that's junk? And once they,
scientists who don't know what it is.
well, like David Clements, I don't know, he was an anyway, he's a
Physicist of some sort.
and when he got into his physicist, that's when he started realizing about the spirituality of it all.
Right. There are many Einstein also. Tesla is another one. They all because they know it comes from somewhere else. I mean, it's not that it's out there necessarily. It's around you. There is, that was the other thing. There are with quantum computers now, they're looking at saving things not in the cloud, but it's just going to be in the air around you. And we have no idea what's in the air around us, really. We only know 3D wise. We know that there's more if people meditate or if they astral travel, like you said, or when you dream. If you're 621 at 211. Beautiful. So if you dream, that means you are a human on Earth and you are astral traveling somewhere, but you may not call it that. Everyone has it. That's the beauty of diversity, is everyone has a different way and a different word for it, but it all is the same thing. Just like when we talk about God, there is, and it's not just that some people call it Muhammad or God or this or that, or, Jesus is Yeshua and this and blah, blah, blah. It's because humans have to label it according to who and what they are within. And that's why we get so much diversity, but it's all the same thing. All the same thing.
Yes. And also another thing that I kind of wanted to bring up is we're always so distracted. And we don't take the time to just settle into ourselves.
Why are we distracted?
Because there's a lot of stuff to watch. There's a lot of stuff to read. There's a lot of stuff to watch. There's a lot of stuff to do. And it's hard. And it's hard to just like meditate. It's just hard to meditate for a lot of people because they always feel like they need to be doing something else. But the gold is inside, the gold is inside your heart. Once you are able to tap into that, that's when everything will start opening up.
And it's not just meditation as in going to God.
No.
It's just meditation and calming yourself. The calming your mind will happen as the more you do it. It took me a while and I still don't totally calm my mind. I'm still, even when I'm doing other meditations where I'm listening to it, my guides have to put me to sleep so that I can actually hear what's going on. Otherwise, my mind is going here or there or the other way. So being a, shaman and a spiritual person, that doesn't mean that I sit and meditate for 7 hours. I'm not a monk. I'm not a, whatever. Yogi. I don't.
And some days I don't meditate at all, but I am a very spiritual person.
Well, and that's another thing. Yeah.
But I started going down my little mystic hermit, trail by science, by realizing, piezoelectric. What does that mean? It means your bones are electric. That's what a crystal harp can get into the frequency of your body. I started going into it scientifically, realizing that our bodies are electric, our bodies are subject to the electricity that is around us. That's how I started going into it, was just going into the science and realizing that science is more than beakers and stuff. Science is you are a scientific being that has all this DNA stuff in, so that's how I started actually on my path.
Yeah, I've always been interested in science too, but I never put the two together until, I don't know, I'd have to think about when that was.
Yeah, that's what started it, and ancient aliens and all that stuff. Just realizing that there's more to this earth than we're aware of.
Yeah, that's right. And also know that you're never going to know it all.
You're never going to know
You're never going to know it all.
And you're never going to finish. You're never going to get to the top of the ladder, because that ladder just keeps on extending.
Oh yeah, there's always more. There's always more. And even my dad, when he was on his way out, he made a wish board for, a house in the foothills or something like that. And I was like, that is so cute and he thought he was going to be here forever,
And maybe in the other life he does have a house in the foothills. That's right.
Maybe he got there 2 years before Mom, which I don't know what time that is over there.
There is no time, honey.
Yeah, right.
There is no time.
Exactly. But yeah, maybe he had that house ready for her by the time she got there. That's right. That's true.
That's how I like to look at things.
And that's the other thing about, dimensions. We're in the third dimension when you do go to dream or astral travel. and I've heard this from many, many people, so this is why I believe this, that you go through the fourth dimension, which is like the dream world, and you go to the fifth dimension. So you are 5D while you're dreaming. And I've over the years gone through a lot of different thoughts of what that is, and my ideas have changed. And now I think I feel like, yeah, it used to be people would say, oh, that's like the other side or heaven. I don't want to go to heaven. I want to stay here. I want to live here. And, that sort of thing. And, heaven on earth is what I live every day. I try to, for the most part.
That's what the fifth dimension is all about, is bringing heaven to earth
Yes, that's
and
right.
living out your physical body in a fifth dimensional world.
And to do that, our bodies are going to change to crystalline very slowly, but that's why the sun is doing what it's doing, and that's why the earth is doing what it's doing. So,
And it's the solstice.
and it is, that was the other thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
for
I
the
was gonna say,
solstice.
and I don't think that whole disclosure movie wasn't timed perfectly
Oh
for
yeah.
the solstice. It wasn't.
Oh yeah. So watch for more in July, because July is the big month of change, and I don't want to say upheaval, because that has negative connotations to it. But it is. It's going to be big changes. Let's put it that way. And if you are in, a higher frequency, or if you are a happy person, if you are not necessarily that you have to be optimistic all the time, but that you live for the fun of, and you enjoy life. If you enjoy life, then you're going to see good stuff.
And
Yeah.
if you go around, and something weird happens to you, what can this bring to me? What am I supposed to learn from this? Childlike wonder when you see something that you haven't seen before. Childlike wonder.
That's right. That's very good. That's wonderful. So the celestial helpers for this week, the channel for the solstice was talking about how now is a different time. We are in a different time now as of today. So a time, and to them, they don't know where things are going to go necessarily. I guess they can look forward. There are a lot of guides and gurus, I don't know, aliens, whatever, whoever, that can look forward on timelines and see how things may go. It's like reading tarot cards. It's like this, well, the way the energy is right now, this could happen, that sort of thing. They can do that, but a lot of this is all new to them too. And it's in our hands and in our DNA.
Because this has never happened before.
That's right.
People have not embodied a different dimensional change that we're going to be going through. That's why we're all here, because
right.
we knew this was going to happen, and we did not want to miss this ride.
No, we want to do it for us. And we also, I think the ones that open spiritually are the ones that said, we're called to be here at this time. And then the others that are awakening, that will be awakening, I don't even know how to explain it. I see it like a big, not like a bad thing, but more like, on the cartoons where it would go, and then they'd have the Daffy Duck would be all, and then in the next scene, he's a regular duck again. It's going to be like that. Things are going to happen.
You're going to go through a day. But then you'll be okay. You just feel a little bit better.
Yeah, that's right. And things will happen. But those things maybe taught Daffy something, maybe not. But, the things that happen, that go are lessons for you. But I mean, as far as when I ask myself, what do you think, or I'm asking my guides, what is it going to look like? And that's what it goes like it's, it's going to be totally different. And the dust settles. And then when the dust settles, that's where they're saying, this is where you guys come in. This is what you need to change. And you need to decide what it's going to be. You're living in the now, right now, and you decide how you want it to go. And all through this podcast, I have had so many numbers that are 2 and 1. Of course, it's the 21st, and it's 2:00, but a lot of 2s and 1s, and unity and reflection. So unity and partnership, or polarity, which that's true. The polarity is going to be even more. It's going to be even more. You're going to see But one thing that I don't watch political stuff. I really don't. Anytime anybody's got anything on, it's like click, I'm out of there. And I don't watch the news. I don't get on anything on TV. Well, the only thing I did watch that was sort of political this week had to do with Obama's library, that it opened, and only because I love Michelle's speeches are always she's someone whose feet are on the ground, and I don't know how spiritual she is, but she doesn't talk about spirituality. She's talking about unity. And so
I
that's
have a
why,
feeling she's very spiritual.
well, I'm sure she is, but I'm sure she is, but she doesn't talk about it like we do,
Yeah,
is what I mean.
right.
But
Yeah.
she uplifts like, man, and that's that feminine energy, and it's
Mhm.
very strong. And what was it? What's his face? Lee Harris said something about this feminine energy may be the kind that singes your eyebrows. I was like, well, I've been an eyebrow singer for a long time. Sometimes things I say or do, people are like, "Whoa!" But yeah, but she doesn't do that. Michelle doesn't do that. It's very forceful, but it's all beautiful and perfect, and she speaks the truth. That's why I like her.
Yeah.
It's not political. I don't do
Oh,
politics.
I do watch a lot of political stuff.
Well, good for you. And
But
good that you don't
but when
tell me about it.
no, you're not interested. I don't talk politics with you.
I'm not. But my politics are humanity.
Mhm.
That's it. Because I mean, I have to look when I go to
I
vote.
I look at the world like a novel. Like this is a novel that is going on, and things have to happen for other things to happen.
Right.
You have your I look at it like a tarot deck. I look at it as archetypes. I
Yeah,
look
oh
at the
yeah.
world and the things that happen in the world archetypally. And
Yes.
it's fascinating. I don't let myself feel. I don't go into the emotions of it.
Right.
But I'm an Aquarius. I easily detach. But I see things holistically. And it's fascinating what's going on.
I feel everything. I'm totally
Yeah, we'll
the
see.
first three chakras, that's me. This solar plexus over here. Yeah, no, I feel everything, so I just can't do it. And if I look at it like you're saying, well, it's archetypal, it's this, that, and the other, it's like, yeah, it's this pile of shit. Here it is. The pile of shit is just
It's
gonna get
not a pile of shit. It's
anytime
a
anything.
pile.
Okay, it's a pile. Okay, I'm
It's
sorry.
you don't want
It's
to
a
bring
pile.
into judgment.
It's a pile. But well, and it's the same with, disclosure and the fact that the government has been holding all this stuff.
Well,
That's a part of that
it
pile.
really just depends on the lens you want to look at it from. If you want to look at it from a lens of look what they kept away from me, or you want to look at it from the lens of look what's going to be coming out. You
Oh,
know,
that too. Oh, definitely.
I never look at it I never get mad of stuff that's been hidden. I just don't, because it doesn't do anybody any good to get mad. You look at something from today and go forward.
Right. Right. But people that I'm speaking to are not going to hear it unless it comes that way a lot of
Well,
times.
see, I don't talk to those people.
Well, you're talking to them right now on the podcast. That's who I'm talking about.
Well, that's why I'm saying this is the way I look at it, and
Yes.
I don't have any problems.
Well, I don't look at it and I don't have any problems. That's
There you
fine,
go. You can do both.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can go either way. That's
Well,
right. Talk about
I did
diversity.
I did have somebody who told me just recently that because she could not look at this stuff without getting mad.
I'm
And
over
she
that.
and she did tell me that she disconnected from everything. It's like, well, good for you, because you have to disconnect if it's going to upset you. You just
Right.
have to,
Yeah.
because it's not for you if if it if it lowers your frequency.
That's what it is. And,
Mhm.
certain faces pop up on TV and that's like, click them. I just can't even go there. And it's not because I'm going to get mad. It's, well, maybe it is that, but it's like, I don't have time for that. I don't want to waste my I don't want to lower my my
Mhm.
vibration. I don't want to take the time to even, think about it. But the time that I do think about it is when, I get my voter thing in the mail and I go, oh yeah, I better look these people up and Google them and,
Yeah, I got to
go
look some
from there.
people up because
Yeah.
you can't believe any of the ads.
Oh no, I know.
And actually, sometimes it's hard to find stuff
Oh,
on the people that you're looking up.
oh wow,
It's
I
like
never have.
really where they fall on things because everything is so generalized.
Or you go to their website and it's so plastered in words, legalese and
Yeah.
words that don't mean anything. It's like,
Yeah.
how, that's like I can't think of anything, but you take the idea of an apple, you could call it, a seeded vitamin C something, I don't know. They take they take the simplest thing and put it into 50 billion words, So
Mhm.
it's like people listening to me like I do. Takes me so long to say something, but it's not legalese, but by any means would never would be. But anyway, but yeah. So the only other thing about the diversity and all that, I wonder what people think of what they think are UFOs and what they think are aliens, because we've been trained by Hollywood and the government to think of anytime, or, the movie Aliens with all the, bleh, and all that stuff. I'm sure they're out there, but as far as I know, they're not allowed here anymore. And yes, we have free will here. They don't out there. I mean, there are things that they can try to do. And yeah, I mean, look at Star Trek and the
Okay.
directive. That's what it is right
Yeah,
there.
and I was going to say, and if you don't really understand how that happens, think of the frequency. You're in a frequency band, and within this frequency band, you're comfortable, right? But once the frequency rises, and it's our bodies have to adjust to that frequency. And that's why, people get headaches, people have aches and pains that start up, and people's, hearts start racing. It's the new frequency band that we are rising up, but we're doing it in a very slow, gentle way
Yes.
because this has never happened before.
Right.
But if but people beings that are of a lower density, they can't be in this range anymore because they're not comfortable.
Right.
It's kind of like that one SG1 that I saw, where all this knowledge got downloaded into Jack's brain, and he was sick because his body couldn't incorporate all that high frequency knowledge,
Right.
and he started to like die
Yeah.
because he couldn't his body couldn't handle it. And
Right.
so, that's why those lower density beings don't have the grip that they used to on this planet
That's right.
because
That's
the
exactly.
planet is rising in frequency.
Yes. And the whole other way of explaining, how it's rising has it's scientifically, I mean, I don't know if the scientists are saying it. I know geologists and they may all be woo-woo people, but the idea that there are CMEs coming from the sun. You've heard of this, and it used to only be in October we would get because there was, sunspot season and it may knock out our radio, and things like that a little bit. And that's all I knew of it until now, where, Mother Earth, spiritually and shamanically, Mother Earth is tired of staying in 3D and she
Mhm.
wants us to raise. She wants to raise. So if we want to stay here, we need to raise or
and
we'll die. So yeah.
and the solar plasma, light carries information,
Yes.
and we are electric beings. We get this information. It is coming into our bodies. It is changing things within us. We may not be aware of it, but it's happening. And
Right.
so, the same as it's happening into the earth, it is happening into us and into, our pets, our animals. It's
Right.
happening into everything.
A lot of the insects and trees and a
Hmm.
lot of animals are already ahead of us. So it'll be easy for them.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what people say. Oh, I worry about my dog. I'm like, I think your dog's more worried about you. You need like, oh my God, is she going to
Well,
raise
I was
her
gonna say,
vibration?
and you shouldn't be worried about anything.
Well, that's true.
You shouldn't
That's
be.
yeah, not the right term.
I said,
It's so hard to change your
worrying lowers your vibration.
yes, worry, guilt, shame,
Mhm.
and the idea of not having shame. The easiest way to do it is just don't look at your past unless it's to see how far you've come. That's first. And if you feel shame about something, you want to look at, why you did it at the time, maybe, but you're not going to do it now because you already feel shame. So you're not going to do it again. And it's
Right,
lowering your vibration. So
but
raise your vibration,
but
forgive yourself.
anything that you did in the past that you feel shameful of, you have to love that piece of yourself.
Yes,
You can't just ignore it. You have to love it
there was a
because
lesson there.
it all makes you who you are today. And that's what's
Exactly.
important.
Exactly. That's right. Forgive yourself, forgive the
Mhm.
others that were involved, if at all. And like you said, Vicki, start from this moment now. And the celestial helper said, we're in the new now, right now.
Mhm.
So start from this moment, go forward, and don't look back unless you want to, relearn a lesson. Who would want to do that?
Don't look back, or you'll turn into a pillar of
Have
salt.
salt.
I was gonna say
That's the time.
there's that
That's
thing
where
in the
we are.
Bible.
That's where we are. Okay. Well, it won't turn you into a pillar of salt, but you will.
But it might
change your
take you a little bit longer to go
get back.
forward.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's the other thing, though, that they've said that even those who don't want to be in love and light at this time, when they look for love and light, it's going to be huge. It's going to be, and some people can't take it. It's just like our sunshiny faces. Some people just can't take. My whole life has been like that. It's
Some
just
some
some people
people are
can't take it.
very cautious of love and what that means
Well, they've been hurt.
because they were hurt.
Yeah. And that's another thing about people that are awakening now. That's going to be an easy lesson to remember and learn that because I mean, just people hurt people. That's not just a saying, it's true. And I found myself looking at others in that way so much more than I ever did. If somebody's, yelling or nasty, then I just think, oh, I'm so sorry that happened. Something happened to you that, I'm not going to say it to them necessarily, but I think it that, I'm
Right.
really sorry you're going through what you're going through.
Putting out good
Send
intentions.
unconditional love. Send
Yes. Putting out
unconditional
good
love.
intentions works.
Yes. Oh, definitely. It changes.
And
Like
it
you
works
said,
for
the way I
you
think.
because you're not holding a negative thought inside of you.
Yeah, that's right. Wow. Wow. We packed a whole lot into this and we're at 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means everything is in a row. So that 1, 2, 3, when you see 1, 2, 3, 4 or 2, 3, 4, 5 or yeah. On
We
and
can
on.
go on and on.
As far well, you can only go so far because there's only so many hours in a day. So that's it. I don't have any more, but boy, did we ever talk. We talked
We
so much.
did. I think we
We
talked
did.
about a lot of good stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I love aliens.
I do too. And I don't know if my celestial helpers are aliens. They say they're light
Well,
beings.
they said they were.
Some of them.
Right.
Well,
But
and Dondre definitely is.
right.
He definitely is. But and that was the other thing about Lee.
But don't think of them as aliens. Think of them as other consciousnesses.
Well, but they walk beside us. That's the other thing that, like people think of it outside of yourself. And then on the one hand, we're saying, stay in your heart. And there's all this stuff out there, so it's like, well, is it out there? Is it in here? You have to, your own self is in here. Your higher self is here, but it's also behind you. If you ask Dr. Sue Morter, everybody's got their way of looking at it. But anyway, the aliens are not like aliens, like, the mantises may look a little like that, but mantises are just so sweet and, calm. And have you ever seen a praying mantis? They don't hurt anybody. They just sit there and let you
Except for the prey that they prey on.
I've never seen I have never seen.
Gotta eat something.
Yeah, well, everything on earth has to eat something.
That's right.
Except maybe monks that have been, in the monastery for 25 years or something. They learn not to, but
Some people eat air. Some people eat sunshine.
That's right. The only other thing I could think of this week that was so weird was people talking about looking at the sun. I have been taught my whole life, don't stare at the sun, it'll hurt your eyes. And now so many people are saying, "Oh, I was staring at the sun." I'm like, "Why are you doing? Why?
Well,
Why?"
if you do it, and this is when I went through my little sun gazing phase, if you do it first thing in the morning before while the sun is still rising, and like last thing at night while the sun is still setting, that's like when it's safe. It's there's a whole sun gazer protocol thing.
Oh, I'll have to look
Mhm.
that up. Okay.
Because Michael and I tried it for a little while.
Oh,
I couldn't get very far looking at the sun. But it is weird because when you do kind of look at the sun and then you look away, you see like I've seen like numbers when you close your eyes and things like that. It's pretty cool.
that's a
But
good thing. You got that's like your third eye opens.
yeah, yeah.
And
And
yes,
another thing I wanted to mention, because as you say that they're walking beside us, they look upon us as something. I don't like to use the word special, but we are something different.
yes.
They look upon us as something different. We are doing something different that has never been done before in the cosmos. And
Yeah.
so we are actually very important
Yes.
because we are showing that this can be done. Because people have been wanting to do this. We tried in Lemuria and it didn't quite work. you know
Atlantis. Yeah,
so
there's more coming out in Memories of Atlantis that it wasn't only the fall of Atlantis. It wasn't as bad as it was only bad for some. That, a
and
lot of
and
people
and
got away.
some people carry those memories, and it is
Yeah.
difficult for them, and they have a lot of anger, and I want those people to release that anger.
Oh yeah,
It's not going
definitely.
to do anyone any good.
There have been some meditations out there that I've seen that, if you feel that you were at the fall of Atlantis. Well, it's not I don't remember the whole way it works, but Lemurian people, they they all dispersed. And to me, that feels like the seven rays of the rainbow people. They dispersed all over, the world. That's what
Well,
it feels like.
I feel I was in Lemuria, and I also feel that I was in Atlantis
Oh,
during the
definitely
fall.
I was. I was in
So
Atlantis, I was in
yeah,
Rome, I was in Greece, I was in
yeah,
Constantinople, I was there in Troy, I was, all
yeah.
that stuff. And even before that, I was in the caves. I was I was part of the clan of the cave bear. I love those books, Gene Owl books, but
How funny, because the movie came up just recently, and it's like he asked me if I'd ever seen it, and I really have not, because I really don't have any draw to
it's a
see
terrible movie.
it. But
And
I was never into those books either. It just
it
wasn't.
took a while. My mom was reading them, and she usually read really light reading, and she gave me one to read, and it was not light reading. It took me a while to get into it myself the first time. And then when I started reading them to my ex who was blind, I would read to him. I got right into it because I knew it was going to get better. It didn't, but it is different. They are different. But there was a lot of scientific research that she put into those and things that she actually, so she built fiction around the things that were found in the earth in Turkey and France and that sort of thing. So I'm sure that many people are doing that now with the new things that are being found, but they're being found so fast that you can't write a book about it. It's like, oh wait, that's different
No,
because they
I
found
know.
this.
Now that's old news.
Yeah, that's old news now. Before you even get it published, it's old news. Yeah,
Yeah.
unless you do it daily, you're
Yeah.
really, yeah. There's so many things are being found too. That's the other thing. Oh, and I can't watch enough of those things. But now I think I'm caught up. There's not much new that's happening at this moment. There were some things that were found and they're also in the Holy Lands. They're finding things there. I guess our soldiers are finding them. I don't know. I don't know how that's working. I don't
I
want to
don't
bring
know.
that up, but sorry, I didn't mean
Maybe
to
that's
bring
what
that
all that bombing is going to do, is unearth
up.
stuff.
Bring up some new.
Who knows?
Yeah. Hey, well, that's a good way to look at it. It could. It could bring up some more ideas for everybody. More history.
Yeah, sometimes shit has to happen.
Well, if shit doesn't happen, you don't get off the couch, like you said.
You don't get off the couch.
That's
We have made our lives so comfortable.
yes.
That's the hard part.
There's nothing wrong with. I live for my comfort now. I mean, I've been all of my life I was uncomfortable, no matter what I did or wore, or you know, I'm not doing the high heels anymore. I hardly even do anything other than flip flops.
See, that was a good thing that happened from COVID.
Yeah, yeah, that and other things that women don't necessarily want to wear all the time. Yeah, that too. And
I don't wear that ever again.
well, you're lucky you don't have to. Well, I don't know if you're lucky.
It depends
How you
on
look
your
at it.
version of luck.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know if that's lucky.
No, because I look at some people and I would not want to be, I am perfectly happy being the way I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it brought out, and in case anyone, I have had a double mastectomy. And so I had implants for a while and then I had them taken out because I just didn't feel right. And so now I am just, I look like a pear because I have a little tummy.
A PEAR, not a PAIR. You got rid of your
yes,
PAIR.
I got rid of the PAIR. So I look like a little pear. And and it kind of brought out my divine masculine a little bit more.
Ah, okay.
Because, that's how I feel sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I think it helped actually to balance me.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
That's how I feel that it affected me, is that it brought my feminine and masculine more into balance.
I could see how that could be.
Mm-hmm.
I could see how that would work. I don't ever want to go through that, but if I did, I would be a lot cooler.
It is cool.
There's a whole lot of heat under there all the time. So, yep, I know I would be a lot cooler. So, anyway.
Anyway.
How did we get on that weird conversation?
It's a part of me that I don't mind sharing.
Okay, well, we'll keep it in.
And that is what it brought to me.
That's because I was going to cut all that out, but if you want to keep it,
I will.
Okay. All right. So sharing is caring.
That's right. It is.
It is. It is. It's like, it.
Because I know other people go through the same thing I do, and they have their own journeys to go through with this. And I don't know if they have gotten on the other side of what it brought to them or not. But, maybe it might allow some people to go, well, what did this bring to me? Instead of just maybe feeling bad about the whole thing.
A longer life, for one.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a number one thing, I would think. That's a good thing. I'm so glad you are still here. So I'm glad you.
And see, and mine wasn't I discount the whole cancer area because it was a 0. Cancer goes in stages, and I was at the 0 stage. And I only stayed at the 0 stage all 3 times. So that was, interesting.
Huh. Well, and how long ago was that?
I don't know. I think I started out at 45, and then every 8 years something would happen. Every 8 years something would happen.
Huh. Wow. And how long has it been?
I don't know.
Oh, well, it's longer than 8 years.
It's all in the now for me, so I don't know.
Ah, that's so good. I love that. That's so cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. And I don't dislike mine. I love mine. It's what it's what society wants me to do with them that I don't like. I'd be happy just to walk around the way I do without anything, but society wants.
Well, something.
You got to bring it up here.
That might be something you want to think about.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, it depends on what for. When I go to the store,
some people were fine.
Yeah, some people don't care.
Yes,
but I always think of they always portray these old ladies as where they're down to their knees, and I don't want to look like that.
My grandmother was like that.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. And I also think of, what is it, Ma Kettle from the Ma and Pa Kettle movies.
uh-huh.
100 years ago, where she would always be scratching under there. And I'm like, when I was a kid, I was like, why is she doing that? Now I know.
That's right. So anyway, you guys.
I'm so sorry. Oh, no, we got into some really weird. We'll have to title it something really funny, because
Yeah,
this was fun. I'm so
it was
happy.
fun. Thank you,
Thank you all.
Donna.
If you're still here after all that, we love you so much. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please comment. And whatever comment you want, thing you want to comment about, whether it was,
And
aliens.
if you have somebody who has gone through this and you want them to see this take on it, share.
Yeah, that's true. That's very, very good point. And we're sending out a lot of emails and feelers for other guests to come on. And we have somebody that was in the Ann Tucker group, Meg, said
Yeah.
the one who started our
Uh-huh.
podcast really that was Meg, who we were helping, who said,
Yeah,
and
and
Vicki
she
said,
brought up somebody's name, and so we'll
yeah,
reach
so
out. Yeah.
yeah, we may have she's in QHHT person, so
Mhm.
that'll be exciting if we get. I've
And
never had.
and just a reminder, everybody has a story.
Yes,
If you'd like to share that story, do it here.
yes, or if
We're
you
fun.
or fun, yeah, if you just want to get on and have fun with us and talk about weird stuff like we do. What do you think
Bring
of
up
the
a subject and we'll talk about it.
Oh yeah, you betcha. We'll let you talk mostly, but
And then we'll talk.
yeah. So thank you all, and
Thank you.
remember to subscribe and like and share.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Love you all, and it's your time.
It's your time.